Good morning to all. Myself, Manoj Kumar Bundela, Assistant Professor, Suresh Gyan Vihar University, Jaipur. So we are discussing about the fundamental of horticulture. In fundamental of horticulture, we are discussing the plant propagation. So we are already discussed the sexual propagation, and in asexual propagation we discussed the propagation by the cuttings. In that we are discussed the different types of cuttings like stem cutting, root cutting and leaf cutting. In stem cutting we discuss the semi-hardwood cutting, hardwood cutting and softwood cutting. After that, we discuss the layering and different method of layering. Next, we discuss the budding and different methods of budding. So today we will discuss the grafting and different method of grafting. Grafting means joining the separate plant parts together so that they form a union and grow together to make one plant. Means in grafting we have to join the two different plants and make the one plant. That is called as grafting. To get success in union of grafting, the cambium of both the rootstock and scion should be unite properly. So normally we have to means the both the union of the both the rootstock and scion will be united. Like this we have to go for grafting. In this two is there, one is rootstock, second one is scion. So rootstock is the mother plant where and scion is the we have to collect from the other plant. In temperate fruit, the better success is achieved by just before the end of dormant season. So just after the end of dormant season, we can go for grafting. June and July grafting gives the better result in tropical and subtropical fruits. The time of means grafting in June-July is best in the case of tropical and subtropical area, and in temperate area normally the grafting time is just after the dormant season will be over. In grafting, first method of grafting is whip or spice grafting. So this is very simple technique of grafting. Generally 1 year old rootstock are used and the scion of matching thickness are used. So normally the rootstock and scion of the same family we are used. It is used for the propagating the walnut, apple and pear. So this is the with grafting. We have to make the slant cut in both rootstock and scion. In rootstock also we have to make the slant cut. In scion also we have to make the slant cut. After that we will join both rootstock and scion, and then by the help of plastic sheets we have to tie them so that it will be joined. And the both the cambium will of the both the rootstock and scion will be joined together. Next one is tongue grafting. This is modified whip grafting, a slanting cut of similar to the whip grafting on the rootstock and scion. A second cut is given in the reverse direction on the previous cut in the rootstock and scion. Means in whip grafting only we are giving the one cut. In tongue grafting we will give the two cuts, first cut and second cut. Second cut we have to give in reverse direction of previous cut. The second cut is started downward at about one-third distance from the tip and should contain about 1 by 2 the length of the first cut. Means the second cut is 1 by 2 length of the first cut. Stock and scion are inserted with interstock each other. So stock and scion we have to insert each other. While matching it is seen that cambium layer of rootstock and scion must match with both cut surface. It is mainly used in apple and pear. So normally in tongue grafting we what we have to do, we have to make the cut like whip grafting only. Then second cut we have to make in between this. Like this V-shaped cut we have to make. This side also we have to cut and in middle of this also we have to cut. Same cut we have to make in scion also. And both stock and scion we have to join like this. So like this we have to join both the stalk and stem like this we have to join. After that with the help of plastic sheet we will cover it. So that is the tongue grafting. It is mainly used in apple and pear. Cleft grafting. So this is one of the oldest technique of top working. The plant species which are straight-grained, woody and splits evenly considered for the cleft grafting. Normally the woody plant species are mainly used for the cleft grafting. The downward vertical split of 5 to 8 centimeter length scion is prepared. So in this cleft grafting 5 to 8 centimeter length scion we have to prepare, and the vertical initiation is made on the two sides of the stalk. So this is the stalk. In this stalk we have to make the vertical initiation in two sides, this side and both side we have to make. And like this scion wood we have to select, and scion wood also we have to collect like V shape we have to cut. The matching initiation is prepared on lower portion of the scion. In lower portion of the scion, we have to prepare the magic initiation, and the scion is inserted in vertical slit of the rootstock. These are the vertical slits. In that we have to insert the scion. The completed graft is thoroughly waxed. After that, when the grafting is completed, after that thoroughly we have to go for waxing. And the propagation is mainly used in case of mango, hazelnut, peanut and grapes. So these in this normally we will go for cleft grafting. So this is the procedure of the cleft grafting. This is the rootstock and these are the scion, and then we have to fix this rootstock and fix this scion into the rootstock. Linear grafting. This method terminal shoot of 10 to 15 centimeter length having the pencil thickness is used as a scion. In vineyard grafting, normally we use the terminal buds, terminal shoots we have to use. The length of the shoot is 10 to 15 centimeter. Slow downward in and inward cut, ensuring the V-shaped initiation in the lower portion of incisions on the rootstock is prepared. So this is the rootstock. In this rootstock, we have to prepare the V-shape cut. Like this V-shape cut. This is the rootstock. We have to prepare the V-shape cut. And in that cut, whatever the scion that we have to cut, that scion we have to insert that. Like this V-shape cut, then we scion we have to insert like this. During the May and September, this system is successful. So vineyard grafting is mainly used in case of in the month of May and September. So vineyard grafting is mainly used in mango. In mango, the propagation method is vineyard grafting. So like this, we have to select the rootstock. We have to make the V-shape cut. We have to prepare the scion like this, and we insert the scion into the rootstock. So like this. This is the procedure for vineyard grafting. Bridge grafting. This is practiced in which some portion of the rootstock near the collar region is damaged. So what will happen? Sometime what will happen? The collar region of the stem will be damaged. So this portion is damaged. In case of this condition, we have to go for bridge grafting. So this is the grafted one. This one is the grafted. This both we have to graft this. And when it will establish, that time the middle portion we have to remove. In healthy portion of the rootstock, the initiation is made up on the top and the bottom portion of the stalk. The scion and stalk, the scion portion of suitable length is inserted into the. Normally in this what we have to do, the scion portion of suitable length is inserted into the scion. It is fixed using the nail and sealed using the wax. It will fix and then with the help of wax we have to seal it. The sprouted bud from the inserted stick should be removed by the time, and slowly it grow the diameter and cover the damaged portion. This method is useful in wood apple, pear, cherry and walnut. So this is the bridge grafting. So in this we have to like bridge like structure is made. This is the one part and this is the second part. We have to join both. It will make the bridge. Pot mice damage in this is the damaged portion, and when they both are joined, that time the middle portion we have to cut. This is called as bridge grafting. Innocing. Innocing is also called as attached method of grafting. A attached method of grafting. The rootstock and scion shoot of pencil thickness are selected. The shallow cut of 2.5 to 4 centimeter length is prepared on the scion. So what we have to do, this is the rootstock and this one is scion. In both we have to make the cut. We have to remove the skin and both we have to join and we have to cover it by the plastics. Similar matching cut is also given on the rootstock. This method is mainly used in mango, jackfruit, sapota, loquat and custard apple. So this is we have to make a cut here. We have to make remove the outer skin from here. Then we have to join both. And after some time they both will be joined and then one we have to remove. So this is called as enriching. Wedge grafting. The wedge-shaped initiation of about 5 centimeter length is prepared. In wedge grafting, we have to make a V-shape cut like this. V-shape cut we have to make. Same cut we have to make in scion. So scion means one portion we have to make in scion, and then V-shape cut we have to insert like this. The shallow and downward matching initiation is prepared on the lower portion of the scion. In the lower portion, same portion we have to prepare like this, and this scion is inserted in the rootstock and then this will insert into a rootstock and cover it by the plastic. So this method is used in case of wedge grafting or we call it as V-shaped grafting. So V-shaped cut we are making in this. So these are the different methods of propagation that we use in fruits and vegetables. In case of vegetables, normally we use the sexual method of propagation, means seeds only we use, but in case of other fruit crops, we will go for vegetative method of propagation. In vegetative method of propagation, we will use the cutting methods. In cuttings, we use the stem cutting, leaf cutting, and root cutting. In layering, we can go for simple layering, mound layering, compound layering, serpentine layering. These are the different methods we use. Then budding, chip budding, veg chip budding, then different methods of debudding like this different method of buddings we will use. In grafting, different method of grafting we will use. So this is all about the plant propagation. So next, in first steps, we are discussing the classification of horticulture growth. That is not completed. So we will complete that. So classification of horticulture crops, they are classified on the based on the botanical classification. The botanical classification is based on the family. Like mango, the scientific name is Mangifera indica, family Anacardiaceae, chromosome number 40. Banana, Musa paradisica, mandarin, Citrus reticulata, Rutaceae family 18. Sweet orange, Citrus sinensis, family Rutaceae, chromosome number 2 and is equal to 18. Pagzi lime, Citrus aurantifolia, Rutaceae family, chromosome number 18. Grapefruit, Citrus paradise, Rutaceae family, chromosome number 18. It is man-made hybrid. Is grapefruit is man-made hybrid. Wood apple. Wood apple, the scientific name is Pinonia lemonica, Rutaceae family, chromosome number is 18. Lemon, Citrus lemon, Rutaceae family, chromosome number 18, origin is Southeast Asia. Grapes, Vitis vinifera, Vitaceae family, chromosome number 2 and is equal to 38. Guava, Pseudium gajova, Myriticaceae family, 2 and is equal to 22. Lychee, Lychee chinensis, Spandiaceae family, chromosome number 2 and is equal to 30. Papaya, Carica papaya, Caricaceae family, chromosome number is 18. Apple, Meles domestica, Rosaceae family, chromosome number 2 and is equal to 34. Origin is Asia Minor. Peach, Prunus paxica, Prunus paxica, Rosaceae family, chromosome number is 16. Origin is China. Pineapple, Ananas cosmos, Bromeliaceae family, chromosome number 50. Brazil is origin place. Pomegranate, Punica granatum, Punicaceae family, chromosome number 18. Origin is Iran. Jackfruit, Attacorpus heterophyllus, Moraceae family, chromosome number 56. Origin India. Strawberry, Preg- Pregia Ananasha. Rosaceae family. 56. It is a man-made hybrid strawberry. Next, Plantation crops: cashew, coconut, Cocos nucifera, Ericaceae family. Areca nut, Areca catechu, Ericaceae family. 2 n is equal to 32. Malayan region origin. Cashew. Anacardium occidental. Anacardiaceae family. 2 n is equal to 42. Tea, Camellia sinensis, Camelliaceae family. 2 n is equal to 30. Coffee, Coffea robusta, Rubiaceae family. 2 n is equal to 22. Rubber, Hevea brasiliensis, Euphorbiaceae family. Chromosome number 36, origin Brazil. So these are the botanical classification. In this we have discussed the what is the name of the fruit, botanical name, family, chromosome number, and center of origin. On the basis of climate adaptability. Climate is the one of the important complex factors which influence the fruit production. It includes the several basic environmental conditions such as temperature, rainfall, humidity, and light. The fruit's growing zones are based on the climatic factors. These zones are tropical zones, subtropical zones, and temperate region and arid region. However, there are certain of exceptions to this. The grape can be grown in temperate and subtropical region. Grapes we can grow in temperate and subtropical region, while papaya can be grown in tropical and subtropical conditions. These are the some exceptions. Temperate. This class of fruits are grown successfully in cold region where the temperature falls below the freezing point during the winter. At the time of winter, the temperature is below freezing point. In that area, normally comes under the temperate region. During the cold season, the tree sheds their leaves and goes into the rest period. Means in temperate region, the fruits they will leave their leaves and they will go to the rest period. For breaking this rest period, a definite chilling period is required. This class of fruits include apple, peach, plum, cherry, apricot, strawberry, almond, walnut. So these all are comes under the temperate fruit crops. Next is tropical fruit crops. This class includes the fruit crops which are unable to ensure the cool temperature, means they will not grow in cool temperature. Some of them are being severely injured by even the temperature somewhat above the freezing point. If the temperature is go to the freezing point, the crop is affected. This class of fruits required hot and humid climate in a summer and mild winter. This class includes only evergreens such as mango, banana, papaya, pineapple, guava, jackfruit, coconut, and cashew. Subtropical: This class includes the fruit crops intermediate in characters of tropical and temperate. Intermediate in character of tropical and temperate. The fruits are grown mostly in plains where the climate is hot, comparatively dry and winter is less severe. This class of fruits include mandarin, jamun, pomegranate, sweet orange, amla, lychee, and berry. So they all are comes under the subtropical climate. So these are the three types: temperate, tropical, and subtropical climate. Examples: temperate apple, pear, peach, plum; tropical mango, banana, papaya, pineapple, guava, jackfruit; and subtropical mandarin, jamun, pomegranate, sweet orange, and amla. On the basis of fruit morphology, simple fruits they are called as berry, like in case of banana, papaya, grape, and arecanut. Second is modified berry, blasta. It is mainly found in pomegranate. Amphisarica. Amphisarica is found in wood apple and bale. Amphisarica is found in wood apple and bale. Pome is found in apple and pear. Pome in apple and pear. Drupe or stone in case of mango, peach, plum, coconut, cocoa, coffee. Stone fruit, like in this stone is present, the seeds are hard, like mango, peach, plum, coconut, cocoa and coffee. Aspiridium citrus, Aspiridium citrus, nut, cashew, lychee and walnut, capsule in amla. Second one comes is aggregate fruits. So aggregate fruits examples is custard apple, aggregate fruits, multiple fruits, Cyconus, Cyconus is found in fig, Sorosis in jackfruit, pineapple and mulberry. Sorosis, jackfruit, pineapple and mulberry. Cinchonus in fig. Based on rate of respiration, the rate of respiration and ethylene production. There are two types, climatic fruits and non-climatic fruits. The climatic fruits can be defined the fruits which we harvest when they are immature, and after harvesting, by the process of ethylene production, the fruits will get ripened. Examples like banana is the best example of climatic fruits, mango, kiwi fruit, guava, pear, peach, plum, persimmon, papaya, tomato, sapota, passion fruits. So these all are comes under the climatic fruits. Fruits are defined as the fruits showing a large increase in carbon dioxide and ethylene production rate coincide with ripening. Means when the ripening will be start, the respiration rate will be increased and the ethylene production will be increased. So that is called as climatic fruits. Non-climatic fruits means there is a no change in the ethylene production and CO2 concentration when the fruits when we harvest the fruits. Means normally in non-climatic we harvest the fruits when they are completely in mature condition. Means if we harvest the immature fruits, after harvesting they will not get ripened. So always we have to harvest the ripe fruits only in case of non-climatic fruits. But in climatic fruits, if we harvest the immature fruits, if we keep them for some time, they will get mature due to the production of ethylene and carbon dioxide. Citrus fruit, grape, cucumber, pineapple, strawberry, sweet cherry, lychee, pomegranate, that all will come under the non-climatic fruits. Next is the examples of different fruits I told you. So simple fruits, the simple fruits example is cucumber. So how we develop the simple fruits? Development from the single ovary. Simple fruits are developed from the single ovary formed from a single carpel. Single ovary is formed from the single carpels or from the two or more fused carpels. Either the single ovary will be formed from the single carpels or two or more fused carpel, means carpel will be fused together and they form the combined pistil. Example is cucumber. Aggregate fruits develop from the fusion of many separate carpels in a single flower. So many separate carpels will be joined together and form a single fruits, like in case of strawberry. So it has the so many of carpels and they will form a single fruits, but it contains the many numbers of carpels. Multiple fruits develops from the ovaries of many flowers grouped on a same stalk. In a same one stalk only, the ovaries of the different fruits will be joined and they will form the multiple fruits. Like in case of pineapple, it is comes under the multiple fruits. If you can see the fruits of pineapple, it comes under multiple fruits. Accessories development from the ovaries plus nearby tissue. In case of strawberry, the fruits will develop from the ovaries and nearby tissue. So this is the examples of strawberry. Based on the nature of growth. Based on the nature of growth, herbaceous, herbaceous and woody. Herbaceous means example is banana and pineapple. It comes under the herbaceous plant. Herbaceous, they will grow like shrub, like falsa, pomegranate, caronda. Woody plants like mango, bear, sapota, jamun, guava, apple, peach, pear, plum and many other fruits that comes under the woody plant. Mango, bear, sapota, jamun, guava, apple, peach, pear, plum. Based on the continuous of the continuation of the growth. So evergreen and deciduous. Evergreen means Mango, citrus, sapota, and lychee. They are always in greenish and they will not shed their leaves. Mango, citrus, sapota, and lychee. Deciduous means they will leave their leaves. They will means at a some time when they will go to the dormant time, like in apple, pear, peach, plum. When they will go to the dormant time, at dormancy time, they will shed their all leaves. Only stems are there, all leaves they will shed. That is called as deciduous. Evergreen means they will not leave their leaves. They will not shed their leaves. In mango, citrus, sapota, and deciduous, apple, peach, pear, plum. Based on the light requirements, they are divided into three types: long day plant, short day plant, and day neutral plant. Long day plants, those plants which require the long day condition, means more light hours they require and less dark period they require for the flowering. 16 hours or more they require the day temperature and 8 to 10 hours dark period is required. That is called as long day plant. Example is radish, cabbage, cauliflower, carrot. Means the crops which are grown in winter seasons they comes under the long day plants. Short day plant, those plants which require the 12 hours or less daily exposure. Means 12 hours means they require the short day length and more night length. Means 10 to 14 hours they require the dark period they require. Okay, so strawberry, potato, sweet potato, chrysanthemum that comes under the short day plant. They require the more light period, more dark period and less light period. Short day. Day neutral plant means the plant which are not affected by the length, day length and light. Means there is no effect of day and night, that is called as day neutral plant. Such plant is also known as photo-insensitive, means they are not sensitive to the photo means light. They are not sensitive to the light. Like tomato, chili, okra, carnation, dianthus, African walnut. These are all comes under the day neutral plants. Based on the photo period requirement. Next is classification of vegetable on the basis of botanical relationship. Botanical relationship means either they are monocot plants or dicot plants. So the examples of monocot plants like onion, garlic, leek, asparagus or arvi and yams, they are comes under the monocots. Dicots, beetroot, spinach, sweet potato, crucifers, cucurbits, okra, potato, brinjal, tomato, chilli, carrot, these all are considered the dicots. Based on the hardness or temperature tolerance. There are two types: cool season vegetable crop and warm season vegetable crop. Cool season vegetable crop means they require the low temperature or cool temperature for their growth and development. In case of cabbage, cauliflower, null broccoli, all the radish, carrot and tuber crop, onion, garlic, so they all are comes under the leafy vegetables. They all are comes under the cool season vegetable crop. Cabbage, cauliflower, null broccoli, root crops like carrot, radish and tuber crop, onion, potato, they are comes under the cool season crop. Warm season vegetable crop like tomato, brinjal, chili, okra, they all are comes under the warm season vegetable crop. Tomato, brinjal, chili and cucumber crops, they are comes under the warm season vegetable crop. Next is photo period. Based on the photo period, short day, long day, and day neutral plant. You can see the examples. Short day plant like soybean and sweet potato. Soybean and sweet potato short day. Long day plant flowering is induced by period of longer than critical unit. Means it requires a long day condition, more light hours it required. Example is spinach, beet, Chinese cabbage, lettuce, and radish. Day neutral plant: the flower is induced by a period of 10 to 18 hours of even continuous, means they require the day neutral plant, there is no effect of light. egg, tomato, squash, pumpkin, asparagus. So they require the means same light temperature and same day temperature they require. That is called as day neutral plant. Method of raising. So direct method. In some crops we use the direct method. Some crops we use the transplanted crops. Vine or cuttings we use. For bits of tubers or combs we use. So direct sowing means the seeds are directly sown in the field, like in case of okra, carrot, radish, beans, pea and garlic. In this case, we have to directly sow the seeds into the field. We not prepare the any nursery. Transplanted crop means tomato, brinjal, chili, cabbage, cauliflower. Tomato, brinjal, chili, cabbage, cauliflower. What we have to do? First, we have to prepare the nursery. Then we will go for transplanting that into the main field. That is called as transplanted crops. Tomato, brinjal, chili, cabbage, cauliflower. Vine or cutting. Sweet potato, cassava, pointed gourd. Sweet potato, cassava, pointed gourd. We use the vines or cutting for the propagation. Tubers and combs, potato and yams. In potato we use tubers and in yams we use the combs for the rising, for development of the plant. So these are the direct sowing, transplanted, vine or cuttings and bits of tubers. Its classification based on the flowers. So based on the flowers, they are based on the growing seasons. They are summer season annuals, rainy season annuals, and winter season annuals. So summer season annuals means like they are mainly grown in summer season, like Ginea, Pochia, Portulaca, Gaillardia, Gompharina, sunflower, daisy. Ginea, Pochia, Portulaca, Gaillardia, Gompharina, and sunflower. They are comes under the summer season annuals. Next one is winter season annuals. So winter season annuals is Anthurium, Chinese aster, sweet sultan, cornflowers. So these all are comes under the winter season annuals. So rainy season annuals, balsam, propscomb, celosia and gaillardia. So gaillardia is grown in summer season and rainy season both. So balsam, propscomb, celosia and gaillardia it is comes under the rainy season annual. Winter season and summer season annual. So these are the three types of normally it is coming in case of flowers. Based on flower color. So the different flowers have the different colors. Like white color flowers are there, purple or blue color flowers are there, yellow or orange color flowers are there, and red pink color flowers are there. Based on the flower colors, they are divided into white color flowers. So white color flowers are present in Anthurium, Elysium, Dianthus, China Aster, Ginea, Chrysanthemum, Gladiolus, and Gerbera. So these are called as flower color, white color. White color flowers किस किस्म का है? Anthurium, Dianthus, China Aster, Ginea, Chrysanthemum, and Gaillardia. Gladiolus and Gerbera. Second is purple color. Purple color, purple or blue color. So purple or blue color flowers are found in Daisy, rose, purple color rose is also available, blue color rose is available, carnation, dahlia, China aster, delphonium, petunia, verbena, torania, and daisy. So these have the purple or blue color flowers. Yellow or orange color flowers. So yellow and orange color flowers, anthurium, marigold, calendula, ginea, gaillardia, rose, gladiolus, carnation. These have the yellow or orange color flowers. Red pink, anthurium, rose, gladiolus, carnation, gerbera and dahlia. Red pink color flowers, anthurium, rose, gladiolus, carnation, gerbera and dahlia. These have the red pink color flowers. So based on the flower color, it has a white color flower, purple color flower, yellow or orange or red color flowers. Based on the purpose of growing, means for what purpose we are growing the fruits or vegetables. Like if we are growing for the rockery, preparation of rockery, so examples is Alyssum, Phyllox, Portulaca, Linneum, Nemesia, Japonia. These are all are comes under the, they are mainly used for the rockery. Hanging basket. So hanging basket example is dwarf agritum, Petunia, Portulaca, verbena. They are used for the hanging basket we use. In hanging basket we use the Petunia, Portulaca, verbena and begonia. Edging on beds or path. In paths or beds for edging purpose we can use dwarf agritum, Alyssum, Dianthus, Nigelia, Portulaca. So the fancy these are used for the edging on beds or path. Pregnant flowers. Sweet Alyssum, sweet sultan, sweet pea, stock phlox, carnation, rose, jasmine and tuberose. So they are used for the pregnant purpose. For extraction of perfume, we have to extract from the carnation, rose, jasmine, and tuberose. Bedding purpose. So bedding purpose we can use dahlia, marigold, verbena, carnation, petunia, candytuft, balsam, and portulaca. Bedding purpose dahlia, marigold, phyllox, verbena, ice plant. Aromatic plants mainly used for the aroma purpose like rose, jasmine and tuberose. They are comes under the aromatic plant, rose, jasmine and tuberose. For pots, we can use the carnation, chrysanthemum, dahlia, rose, anthurium, petunia, orchid, begonia, chlorophytum. These all are comes under the use for the pots purpose. For loose flowers we use jasmine, jasmine, Prosandra, Valeria, Chrysanthemum, Cinaster, Sunflower, Zinnia. So these all are grown for the pot plant. Loose flowers. Dry flowers example is static, Helichrysanthem, Acroleasium, Gomphrena, Limonium, Marigold, Rose, Lady's Lace. Edge purpose. Lemonsonia, Duranta, Tecoma, Bougainvillea. So these all are comes under for the all are used for the edging purpose. Ecalipa, cut flower or modern flower. Rose, chrysanthemum, carnation, gerbera, anthurium, orchid, and gladiolus. So cut flowers or modern flowers, rose, chrysanthemum, carnation, gerbera, anthurium, orchid, and gladiolus. So these are the classification based on the purpose of growing. For what purpose we are growing the plant. Next is based on their end use and purpose. Means what is the use of their, based on that we are classified into traditional flowers, non-traditional flowers, industrial flowers or value-added flowers. So traditional flowers means they are offered in religious and social ceremonies. Traditional flowers normally we will use in religious and social ceremonies, used as a adornment by women and offered for the worship at home as well as in temples. So traditional flowers, they are mainly used for the social, means whatever the social ceremonies are there, in that we can use. We will temples we can use, and women are used as a adornments like jasmine flowers, rose, marigold flowers, crocendra, tuberose, gaillardia. So these all are used as a traditional flowers. Second one is non-traditional flowers. Non-traditional flowers, they are referred to as a cut flowers or the modern flowers. We can call as cut flowers or the modern flowers. Non-traditional flowers. Generally, flowers are harvested along with a long stem and stalk. Non-traditional flowers, normally we will harvest the flowers with long stalk. It contains a long stalk. Like you can see in the market, you can see the rose flower. Rose have the stalk. So like this, with the stalk, we have to harvest the flowers. That is called comes under the cut flowers or modern flowers. High-tech rose, like that is called as Duchess rose, Gerbera, carnation, chrysanthemum, gladiolus, orchid, anthurium, bird of paradise. So these all are comes under the non-traditional flowers, and they are referred as the cut flowers or modern flowers. Next is industrial flowers or value-added flowers. These are used as a raw material in the industries. So industrial flower or value-added flowers, what is the use of this? They are mainly used in industries for the extraction of oil, extraction of oil we have to extract, and that oil we use for the preparation of different products. They are used in raw material in industries for extraction of essential oil and also preparation of some edible product. The edible product like gulkand. So gulkand is prepared from the rose petals and sugar. The ratio of rose petals and sugar is 1:1. Means 1 kg rose petals are there. In that we have to add 1 kg of sugars, and then we can prepare the product like that is called as gulkand. Gulrohon pigments as a natural color and also dry flowers. As a natural color also we can use, as a dry flowers also we can use. We can like from rose we can take the dry rose flowers, leaf dry rose flower, that is called as Pankhudi, that we use, we have to add in sweets and all. When we prepare the bundi and all, in that we have to add. So these are the different uses in industries. Examples: tuberose, jasmine, rose, and marigold. So they are mainly used into the industries for preparation of value-added flowers, value-added products. Based on the nature of growth. Nature of growth, there are two types are there. One is annual, second one is perennial. Annual means they will complete their life cycle in one season. They require only one season to complete their life cycle. Second one comes under the biennial. They will complete their life cycle in 2 seasons. They require 2 seasons for completion of their life cycle. Perennial means they require the more than 3 seasons or more than 3 years for completion of their life cycle. That is called as perennial. So annual, the examples of annual flowers like ice plant, hollyhock, sweet pea, annual chrysanthemum, carnation, sweet alcimon, dahlia, marigold, verbena. So these all are comes under the annual flowers. Perennial, perennial flowers like rose, jasmine, crocendra, anthurium, orchid, chrysanthemum, hibiscus, gerbera, carnation, and bulbous growth. So these all are comes under the perennial. So there are two types, annual and perennial, based on the nature of growth. Annual means they complete their life cycle in one season or 1 year. Perennial means they require the 3 or more seasons for completion of their life cycle. That is called as perennial. So this is all about the classification of vegetable crops. The very important classification of vegetable crops is first one is that is botanical classification, that is based on the family and all. Then the classification based on climate like temperate, tropical and subtropical, temperate, tropical and subtropical climate growing fruit crops. Next is based on the flower morphology, simple fruit, aggregate fruits and multiple fruits. Simple fruit, aggregate fruit and multiple fruits, or that is based on the fruit morphology, based on the rate of respiration or ethylene production. They are climatic fruits and non-climatic fruits, rate of respiration and ethylene production. Next is based on the nature of growth, like how they are look like. Either they look like herb, they are called as herbaceous. They look like vines, shrubs, that is called as herbaceous, and they are woody plants. They have the woody plants means that is called as mango and all. They will come under the woody plants. Next, growth habits. Either they are evergreen. Evergreen means they will never shed their leaves. Always leaves are there on plant. Deciduous means when they will go to the dormant condition, that time they will shed their leaves. Based on the photoperiod requirement, like long day plant, short day plant, and day neutral plant. Long day means they require a long day temperature. Short day plant, they require a short day temperature or more night temperature. Day neutral plant, there is no effect of light on the plant. Fifth, classification of vegetables, that is the classification of fruits. Next is classification of vegetables, that is monocot and dicot. First one, based on the temperature tolerance, like cool season vegetables or warm season vegetables. Cool season means they grow in winter season. Warm season vegetables, they grow in summer season. Photo period, short day plant, long day plant, and day neutral. Same, short day, short period, short day temperature. Long day means long day temperature. Day neutral means no effect of temperature. Next is method of rising, means how we are growing the plant. Based on the seeds we are growing, means directly we are sowing the seeds in the field. Either we are preparing a nursery, then we are going for the transplanting of seedlings into the field, or we are going propagating the plant with the help of vines or cuttings, or we are using the tubers or combs for the propagating material. So these are the methods of rising. Based on the method of rising, we have to classify the vegetables. Next is classification of flower crops. After vegetable, next is classification of flower crops. The classification of flower crop, first one is based on the season of growing, like summer season annuals, rainy season annuals, and winter season annuals. Summer means they grow in summer season, rainy means they grow in rainy season, and winter means they grow in winter season. Annual means they complete their life cycle in one season only. Based on the flower colors, so their flowers have the different color flowers are available in market, like white color flowers, purple color or blue color flowers, yellow or orange color flowers, and red pink color flowers. So that is the based on the flower colors, and based on the purpose of growing, for what purpose we are growing that particular flower crops, like we are growing for rockery, hanging basket we are growing, pregnant we are growing, bedding material we are growing, aromatic for aroma we are growing, for pots we are growing, for loose flowers we are growing, or for dry flowers we are growing, for as purpose we are growing, or for cut flowers we are growing. So these are based on the growing. Based on the purpose, like what is the use of that flowers, we are growing for the traditional purpose we are growing, for non-traditional flowers for non-traditional purpose we are growing, and flowers we are growing for the industries for development of different oil and other products from the flowers. Based on the nature and growth, they are classified as annual plant, biennial, and perennial. There are three types in case of fruits and vegetables, but in flowers only two types are there. One is annual is there, and second one is biennial is there. This is all about the classification of different fruit crops. In this, we have discussed the classification of fruits, classification of vegetables, and classification of flowers. So this is all about the today's class. Thank you. Thank you all.